Hi, welcome everyone. Hi, I'm so happy to see so many familiar faces and thank you so much for joining us today. And please let us know in the chat where you're joining us from and what some of your favorite things to cook in the kitchen are lately. And while you do that, I'm just going to introduce myself really quickly. I am Sylvia Ng, and I just created Chefs for Chefs just a few short months ago. And building it has been like my passion project on the side of my 9-to-5. And CHEFS, as some of you or most of you know, stands for Charities Helping Everyone for Seva, which means selfless service. So basically, I'm teaming up with all of my awesome and talented chef friends to offer virtual cooking classes to all of you so that we can raise money and raise awareness for a charity or organization doing good in the world that our chefs are just truly passionate about. So let me just check the chat to see who is here. We have Marietta. Hello, welcome. We've got Brendan from Narrowsburg, New York. I thought you were in Staten Island. Is that Staten Island? He's been cooking a lot of Southeast Asian foods and loves Thai-style salads.
Yum.
Golda! Super yum. We have Golda from Peoria. Yay, Peoria, Illinois. She's trying her hand at making vinegar. And Nancy, Chef Nancy here is from the Denver metro area. And she knows Peoria very well. I do remember that, yeah. So thank you everyone for joining. So this way this goes is you are more than welcome to cook along with us, ask us any questions along the way. If you do have something you want to comment on, feel free to raise your hand or just unmute yourself and ask, you know, freestyle it, I guess. Or you can just type your questions in the chat and I'll ask our chefs your questions. So if you're busy and multitasking, which I get, you can also just sit back and absorb everything that's going on and then watch the replay later when I send it out. So without any further ado, let me just say that I am so honored and so thankful to welcome our guest chef, James Cowan, who I call Jim. And Jim is passionate about creating culinary experiences that grow from the heart and soul with the freshest local ingredients. He is a talented chef based in New York City, who was trained at Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island, where he received a Bachelor's of Science in Culinary Arts. It's also where I went, but our paths did not cross until many years later. And Jim honed his craft at high-end establishments, including the Hilton at Short Hills, New Jersey, the Seagull, the Waldorf Astoria, as well as the Great Southern Hotel in Ireland. And when he's not teaching cooking classes to both adults and children, Jim creates nutritious and delicious meals for the students and faculty at one of the finest private schools in New York City, which is how I ended up working with him just 2 years ago, I would say. So Jim was my boss at my last job, and he's done a number of fun virtual cooking classes over the past 1 or 2 years or so. So I knew I needed his expertise on this, and I definitely wanted him to be my very first guest chef. So put your hands together and say welcome to Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, how's it going?
Good
Welcome.
boss, can confirm.
Let me throw you on the spotlight here. How's it going, Jim? So
better?
welcome.
There we go.
Perfect.
Much better.
Yay. Thank you.
All right. So I am very honored to be your premier guest, and I'm pretty positive there might be one more that's on this call right now that might be a future guest.
Yes.
Just thinking. But yeah, I'm very honored. And with Diwali right upon us, I figured I'd do a dish that is like one of the favorite dishes at Trinity School. And it's a vegetarian dish, not vegan because it's got dairy in it. And it's Paneer Makhani. So it's a really savory dish. It's a hard cheese that you can actually bake or saute, and it'll still hold its form, and it really takes on a lot of flavor that you're cooking in. But to get back to talking about Sylvia's program, Chefs with Chefs, it's really an amazing program that she started. Super happy, and tonight I'm going to be cooking for Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, which is kind of close, like very close to us, because we lost our mother-in-law just a little over 2 years ago, and she was in Memorial Sloan. So Tonight we were cooking for Delicia, and we're cooking in her kitchen right now. So it's even more special. And pay no attention to the 90s fab wallpaper in the background and everything else in this background, because I think the last time this kitchen was redone was when Marietta was about 9 years old.
No, 6.
Oh, 6. So it was redone when Josephine, Marietta was Josephine's age.
Oh, wow.
And hopefully by the next go around, it'll be refurbished. Hopefully. And this is my special sous chef. This is Josephine. Josephine loves to join on my Zoom classes. She loves to get her hands dirty. She has her own little knife set, which we have taught other little kids across the country. And she's helped out with those classes also. What else? Yeah, just an honor to work with Sylvia. Kind of really bummed that she left me to go to Colorado to be with Archer.
Sorry.
Happy about that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, for Diwali, I mean, I'm thankful for today because you actually have the day off to join us. So I know it's a big festival. Yeah, it's a big festival of lights, and it signifies peace and joy. It usually lasts a few days too, I think, right?
Yes. 5 days.
Yeah, 5 days. So I am all for festivals that last multiple days. It's a great celebration. Totally. You know, and
we're only off today.
Yeah, you have to go back to work tomorrow, I know. So thank you for joining us and taking your day off to be here with us. And I know, and you know, I know a lot of us have been touched by somebody who's gone, you know, through cancer or survived cancer or have passed on and left their mark in the world. So I know it's one of the Memorial Sloan Kettering is one of the largest and oldest private cancer treatment and research institutions out there in the world. So the frontline workers are caring for patients every day and doing really amazing work. So thank you so much, Jim, for, you know, bringing light to Memorial Sloan Kettering and for joining us today. So I guess
those frontline workers that were there while my mother-in-law was there, they were spectacular. They went above and beyond, and yeah, they made us feel comfortable, and they made her comfortable, and yeah.
Well, thank you to your mother-in-law. What is her name again?
Delicia.
Okay, so this here is for Delicia. So yeah, so let's get started, I guess, because I don't know how many people are cooking along with us, but I know it's getting close to dinner time for you there. So I think you'll want to.
It's 6:10 right now.
6:10.
So, all right, so perfect. I got store-bought paneer, got at Costco, and I also made this paneer today, and really simple to make if you want to make a hard cheese like this. It is milk and lemon juice. So I took my milk, about a half gallon of milk. I brought it up to just about a boil, just before it was about to boil. And then I shut the heat off, dumped in just about a quarter cup of lemon juice, whisk it around. All of a sudden it starts separating. And this is the leftover product that was strained out. And I had this pressed into in between two pans, and as you can tell, it's a fairly hard cheese. It was pressed between two pans, some weight on top. It was wrapped in cheesecloth, which is a really fine piece of cloth that allows liquid to escape and the solid stay behind.
It doesn't seem that hard to me. It's easy to break it.
Yes, but
shots fired.
And now we're going to go into our other ingredients. We got some grapeseed oil, which I love to use because it's got a really high heat point where you could use it to saute at a high temperature without burning the oil. I got salt, pepper, heavy cream, a little honey, These I don't need. Chili flakes, we do not need. We have chili. I've got some ginger, garlic, onion.
Once I gave Mommy a hunk of garlic and ginger.
Yes. In one of the cookie cuts, Josephine cut a rather large chunk of ginger. We've got some tomato puree. I've got turmeric. I've got chili powder. I've got cumin. I've got fenugreek. I've got garam masala, cumin, and I believe that's it. Now what we're going to start doing, we're going to start getting the rest of our stuff prepped.
Just out of curiosity, how many people here have eaten paneer or cooked with paneer? Because I think I've only eaten it, but I don't think I've ever actually cooked with it before. Brendan, yeah, I figured
I'm going to say Brendan.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Archer loves to eat sag paneer, the one with the spinach, and like that one's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna, what's going on here? All right, so a couple things we're gonna be doing. A couple pieces of equipment we're gonna be using. Trusty knife.
Make sure it's sharp.
We have either a spoon. I'll let you know what that's for in a minute. And I have a blender, or you could really just really finely chop what we're going to be going through. But it's easier to use a blender when you're making this. So our first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking one onion.
Can I help?
Yes, give me 1 second. I'm going to slice off both ends. Slice it in half. I'm going to peel our onion. Just that out of the skin. And we're going to rough chop this. Once you have it rough chopped, we're going to put it into our blender. So it doesn't really matter what size it's going to be. It's going to be all blended up.
Come here, I won't cry.
Don't worry, I won't let you cry. No, thank you. Okay. Keep going.
Nice cuts, Josephine. She's being very safe with her knife.
Absolutely. Perfect. Oh, thank you. That's going to go right into our blender. Next thing we're going to take is I've got 3 cloves of garlic. And we're not going to have to cut this up. We're just going to throw this right into the blender with the onions also. Now we're going to take our ginger, and here's a little trick for peeling ginger. You can either use a regular peeler, or you can take the spoon and turn it so that the bowl is facing towards the ginger, and you can just peel the ginger just by scraping it, and you're really not losing much of the product. We're only going to need about a teaspoon of the ginger.
Can I cut it? I promise I won't make it.
Don't worry, it's going to go into the blender.
Okay. I'll make it humongous.
Okay, I'm just going to cut just about that much. Be careful. So that's about how much you're gonna need. Cut it up. And we're gonna put that right into our blender.
Hey, Jim, do you think you can use powdered ginger instead, or is it not recommended?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Just in case you have the powdered ginger, you could absolutely use powdered ginger. And you'd roughly use about a teaspoon, or half a teaspoon to the teaspoon of the fresh product, as it'll be fairly potent. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy and we're going to put it onto the blender base. I'm going to also add in just a little bit of my grapeseed oil, just to give it a little bit of liquid in there.
So that BlendTech blender is your favorite tool, huh, in the kitchen? Nice promotion there.
I'm not sponsored.
Maybe one day.
That'd be nice.
Right.
All right, so I am going to mute my line because the blend is going to go on and it's going to be loud. So I'm going to mute it real quick.
I guess while Jim is blending, I'm wondering if he can hear me anyway. I'm wondering if you can probably substitute the tofu for paneer if you are vegan. I don't know. It'll probably taste really different, but maybe if you kind of roasted it in the oven or something like that, you can use that for a plant-based meal. Or maybe even use coconut milk. I don't know, for instead of the heavy cream. Just throwing out some ideas while he's blending up his stuff. But Golda, you haven't cooked with it. You haven't cooked with paneer either. I'm surprised. I feel like you've cooked with everything. You're a master chef, I know. But yeah, same here. I've only eaten it at a restaurant.
So get to your question, you can substitute tofu for paneer, but you would have to get like the very hard tofu and press the water out of the tofu.
Yeah, good point.
Like,
yeah.
Thank you, Nancy. So this is what I got left behind. It's really just a pureed ginger, garlic, and onion liquid. What we're going to do from here is we're going to get our pan. I'm going to switch camera views.
I think the onions worked.
The onions worked?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so what I got on the stove right now, I got a heavy bottom pot, really well loved and well used, like say pot. It's got a thick bottom. It's really good for like high temp cooking and not burning your food while cooking. So we're gonna add to our pot. We're gonna turn it on to high, or what high is on this stove right now. It's gonna add about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of oil. And we're gonna get that hot. Once that's hot, we're gonna add our onion mixture right into that. How's everybody doing so far?
Great, thumbs up. Jim, I have a question. Do you toast your spices at all for this ahead of time, or do you not?
We are going to saute the spices. So once our onions are cooking, we're going to add the spices in after they start to to cook a little bit. Probably about 3 or 4 minutes in, we're going to add the spices, and then we're going to cook the spices to really release all those oils in it. Get the aromatics going.
Yeah, I have a little confession to make to you, Jim. I rarely cook Indian food because I'm honestly just a little bit intimidated to cook with all the spices. I feel like if it's not measured right, it can totally taste like muddled or overpowering, or something's missing, you know. So I know it's all about balancing the flavors. So I always put in like a pinch of everything, but it's hard, I think. And I know my cousin May, she wrote this in our Facebook group, but she said the same thing. Like, she's intimidated to cook Indian food because, you know, there's a lot of spices, and especially if you have kids, they might be either, you know, turned off by it, or it might be too strong for them. So yeah, for me, it's
absolutely.
like,
And there's a lot of Indian families that have their recipe.
Yeah.
They have their recipes for their own spice mixtures, and if it's different, then they're like, "Oh, that's not ours."
Totally.
It's like, "Oh, you need to add a little bit more of cumin, or a little more this, or a little of that." Right,
I did just invest like $12 in a spice grinder, and it made all the difference. I feel like if you buy whole spices and you grind them, it's like the flavor is amazing versus just buying it already ground. But something I'm playing around with too.
Absolutely. Spice grinder is another great tool to invest in, whether it's used for coffee or spices. You gotta have two. One for coffee, one for spices.
Totally, yeah, don't mix them up.
Sometimes you should go for, sometimes you really need to go for like a third one, because you can have the really, really strong spices. Brandon, what are you using? A mortar?
Yeah, he's showing us a mortar and pestle right now. Classic.
I did. I love this tool. You were talking about cheap spice blenders.
Totally, yeah. I have both, but you know, the spice blender is kind of easy. It's a less physical. It's
like the only exercise I get anymore.
Brendan, speaking of that, want to make me some English muffins with nice hollandaise sauce?
I already put them in the mail for you. They're on their way.
Brendan makes some amazing English muffins from scratch, nice, thick, and I know Meredith's got a place in his heart for the
fried green tomato Benedict with pimento cheese.
Your pimento cheese.
Not missing that at all, Brendan.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't worry, we're gonna have Brendan on one of these days, so we'll see what he'll cook up the next time he's on here. So maybe it'll be English muffins. Who knows?
Ooh. All right, so right now I've got my mixture in my pot, cooking away, and really it just looks like a nice white puree. And we're just going to cook those onions and get some of the strong flavors out of there. Just a little bit. What, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. While you're cooking this, you're going to see it to start getting a little bit not as loose. It's going to start evaporating a lot of the moisture that's in those onions. It's going to become more of a paste, a pasty consistency. Just about a minute, we'll add in our spices. So in our spice mixture, we got our ginger, our cardamom, turmeric, cumin, garam masala, chili powder. What and our fenugreek powder. The garam masala, it's really a mixture of a couple of different spices, and it's basically cumin, cloves, coriander, cardamom. There's fenugreek in there. What else is in there? There's mustard seeds, mace, nutmeg. I think I mentioned cinnamon. But it's a nice little mixture that I like to use a lot when I'm cooking Indian food because it's got a lot of those like, nice flavors already in there. I also like to make up my own like Indian recipe, so a lot of times it might start to taste a little bit similar to the previous one, but a lot of times I like to follow some famous recipes that some famous Indian chefs have. All right, so you can see it's a lot less liquidy. We're going to add our spices into this now.
Oh, can I help?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, put it on stove. I'm going to put that all in. All right, perfect. Yep, now we're going to mix that. All right. Very daintily mix it around like Josephine.
Jim, there's turmeric in there, huh? You said?
There is turmeric.
I mean, have you just heard that that is like the newest superfood? I feel like there's turmeric everything out there nowadays.
Absolutely. There's turmeric pills, great for your cholesterol.
Anti-inflammatory properties. Funny story, Sylvia. One of my friends was married to an Indian American fellow, and she was allergic to turmeric. So that made it pretty challenging for her to, you know, eat anything that his family cooked. And they went to India together, and it was very challenging for her. Yeah. I was like, wow, that's like really the worst situation there.
Now what's going on here is really the spices are cooking, the oils in the spices are all starting to come out. Mix. So remember to keep stirring it because if it starts to sit a little bit too long, it might start burning, and you don't want to get any little burnt flavor in your food. All right. Going to add just about a teaspoon of honey into this mixture also. I'm going to get all the sides. Really come a nice little paste right now.
Jim, do you have it on like a low to medium heat, or I'd be afraid to burn it, I think, at this point.
Right now it's on a medium to medium high heat, but just keep stirring it. You could absolutely turn it down a little bit lower and let it go for a little bit longer. Just keep an eye on it. Just keep stirring it. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. That's it. All right, now it's starting to get really dry, almost like a really wet sand consistency. A nice way to describe your food is wet sand, but it's probably one of the easiest ways to describe the consistency.
Almost looks like a tomato paste, but brown.
Yeah, I mean, basically. And once you get to your mixture to about this point, we're going to add our tomato product in. And there's just about 2 cups of tomato puree, and none of the. Let go. None of the mixtures with the basil in it.
Now it's there.
I got it. That's all mixed together. I'm going to turn that down to like a low to medium heat. You all right? Mm-hmm. Did the onions get you? I'm going to keep stirring that. Keep an eye on that. And while that's cooking, we're going to take our cheese. I know you want to help with this part. Okay. Good job. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our cheese and we're going to cut it into uniform pieces. It's just about the same size. So I'm going to take it and cut into just about bite-sized pieces. So you can take this piece, you cut it. What's that? Just nice dices. Hey, careful. Just like so. Good job. Thank you. So I'll give you another slice to cut. They actually just served this at our school yesterday for a Diwali festival. So we did a little bit of this. We did some chicken tikka masala. It was a nice celebration of lights.
That sounds delicious. I love doing all those cultural food events and everything at school. I kind of miss that.
It's so amazing that the school allows us to do all these different events and let us do what we do best, and that's make delicious food.
I want one of these.
They let us be chefs with chefs.
Yeah. Good one, Jim.
Yeah.
It's not gonna lie, the homemade paneer is really good. I don't want all of it.
By the way, homemade paneer, it's really good, really simple, easy to make. Only takes an hour or two to make, with cooking to cooling.
I think the homemade one is better.
Yeah? Oh, good.
Nice.
You
didn't prompt her to say that?
Nope, I did not pay her. And olives is cow's milk cheese and cow's milk and lemon juice and a little salt. All right, so now we got our cheese cut. I'm going to take little bit of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to add into our tomato mixture. Not really much, probably about a half cup.
Jim, do you think if you substituted with coconut milk, it would make it taste funky if you're going for a vegan version, or would it taste?
No, I love using coconut milk in my Indian cooking.
Yeah.
No matter how many times it's like, oh no, use heavy cream or yogurt. I like to use coconut milk. The Roy D coconut milk is probably the best.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried that one.
Whole Foods always has it. A little more expensive, but it's well worth it. Really good brand of the coconut milk.
I think I've only used the organic Thai kitchen one that you see everywhere. It does the job.
What do we always use that for?
The Roy D?
Yeah.
We got it when Josephine was weaning and she couldn't have anything dairy.
Weaning?
Yes.
When you started to eat and drink food other than mama milk.
Correct. So that's nice and mixed together. And now we're going to add our paneer right into this mixture. Another thing I like to do with the paneer is I like to toast up before I even start cooking it in a sauce. So what I would do, I would take it and put it in a bowl, add a little oil, salt, pepper, add a little cumin, add a little curry powder, toss it up, get it all coated, and then pop it right into the oven. About 400, 450 degrees, and start cooking it. And you'll get a nice little crispy coat on the outside because it's such a hard cheese that it'll withstand the heat in the oven. And you could turn it halfway through and get a little crispy on the opposite side also.
Tastes kind of like cheese croutons when you do that.
Cheese croutons.
That looks great, Jim.
Paneer is so delicious.
What are you serving it with today?
Today I got, you can serve what I've got some jasmine rice cooked off. And I stopped at the local Indian deli, not Indian deli, but the Indian store. I picked up some naan. Just gonna this is just about done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check the seasoning in just a little bit, add a little more, a little salt, pepper, bring up, just season up a little more with that, just to double check.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Birds not dead?
No. Don't worry about that. So is everybody here cooking right now?
I see Brendan making something.
Yeah, man. We're cooking.
That's beverages.
Smelling pretty good up here. Smelling all those spices working. You can't see us. We don't have 3 cameras, but we're following along with you.
Absolutely. I think I see it. Is that your brother, Sylvia?
Yeah, there's 2 Stevens on here. One of them's my brother.
I'm gonna guess the one with the last name Ng.
Yeah, me too.
That is me. That is me.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, so.
Hey.
Welcome and nice to meet you. By the way, Sylvia's amazing. She always did an amazing job. I don't know if you were on here before when I was praising her.
He was actually out to dinner with my parents because today happens to be their anniversary and I can't be there with them. So Steve, tell mom and dad I'll call them later and wish them happy anniversary.
Yeah, it's all good. I told them.
Thanks, yeah. It's their 43rd anniversary. Can you believe it? Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Aw, congratulations. Happy anniversary. And just for the record, everybody, it was just Sylvia's birthday.
Oh, thanks,
It
Jim.
was? Oops.
Thank you for that. Thank you everyone for the birthday wishes. Honestly, this is a great present for me because I get to see so many familiar faces, people that I love, and for me, this is, like I said, this has been like a passion project of mine. So it's kind of like a gift to myself, but also just a way to celebrate. Every few weeks, make something together, have fun, and eat some good food together. So that's what I love. And thank you all again for joining me. So yay!
It's so much fun.
I love it. And then next 2 weeks from now, I guess I'll just make this note. It'll be me cooking instead, so I'll have the 3 cameras. And,
you're cooking? You're doing next one, Sylvia?
Yeah. So 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna do one. It's free to attend. Pay what you can. And I have not decided what I'm making exactly, but I'm thinking maybe a butternut squash soup since it is fall. And maybe maybe some avocado toast too, because I remember we used to make those for events, and I used to eat all of it.
Absolutely. Actually, there's one coming up next week.
Oh, funny! Yeah,
because yes, catering is back.
It is indeed. Good luck with that, Jim.
Catering is nonstop now. We have parent nights. Yeah, 1 last week, 2 next week. I think 3 the following week.
I got squishy kitty cat.
Oh, let me put a spotlight on you there. Squishy kitty cat. So cute. Was that in your Halloween basket this year?
Mm-hmm. Well, I got, no, that was actually, it was actually from a birthday party we went to. Oh, I also have something else.
Oh, great.
All right, so I just seasoned it up, a little salt and pepper, just get that in there. I'm gonna give it a quick taste, see if I need any more.
Ew, that's a creepy finger.
I guess that was coming out.
That creepy finger has been involved in all aspects of life since it arrived in our house.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Just add a little more salt as I needed it. It's basically almost like an Indian vodka sauce without vodka.
Give it a taste, see what it needs.
Delicious.
That is just about ready. I know you like bread. As I said, I got a little bit of jasmine rice.
I feel like this is a good dish to serve like leftover rice with too.
Absolutely, because guess what? That leftover rice, you'll all of a sudden start sopping up all those juices, and it really doesn't taste like leftover rice anymore.
Totally. Yum.
Your knife is so sharp. Sharpest.
You toast it beforehand or no?
I did just toast it, so you could add some scallions if you want on there. You can add.
Can I have this piece of bread?
Of course you can.
Yay!
Yay.
And angles are.
No.
It's really hard to get a good angle when you're doing like reverse angles and on screen. And
Yeah. Yum, that looks great. I know Chef Nancy, who's on here, she makes great naan bread. So we've done, I don't know, I think we served tikka masala for dinner a few weeks ago, and she baked them like fresh. She like made them from scratch.
nice.
We've got a lot of great foodies on here, so.
Absolutely. That is amazing. Brenda, did you make your naan from scratch today?
I more from scratch than I should have. We had all the spices whole, so we didn't go to the store and we didn't like grind them or anything before. And so a lot of it's just been like trying to make the spices to catch up with you.
No. Fresh spices are better.
A lot of work though. I can see
Yes,
the behind the prepackaged stuff. Yeah, it is. They do taste great though. It smells really, really nice in the kitchen right now. The blend that you put together is aromatic, it's enticing, delicious.
Brendan was always good with the words.
It's all that sweat you had from the mortar.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, it's what is it, the secret
Bay.
the bay spice.
The Brendan Bay.
The Brendan Bay.
Well, Brendan, feel free to send a picture of it whenever you're finished with it, and we'll pop it into our Facebook group and share it with people, because I know whatever creations you're making, it's got to be awesome. So
we would be happy. We would love to do that for you.
Cool. Yum.
Indian food, it's not the prettiest when it's on the plate, but
Miniature pizza.
It's all the flavor and the fun outcome and the love that you put into your food and know that you made it. That's the best part.
You hit such a good point earlier. It's a really good way to branch out of this like huge meat centric way of eating. You know, I'm not gonna say that I don't like meat. I do. I love it. But it is a good way to
make me hit you.
Yeah, right. I'm a huge
I've been
fan,
working on him.
but yeah, like it's an easy way for somebody like me to branch off into, you know, a more vegetable focused type of cooking.
And I've been doing that by making a lot of Indian food here at home.
Oh, awesome.
Which is why we have all the whole spices.
I was vegetarian for 18 years. Indian food was my bridge to being vegetarian successfully for as long as I was. Yeah, you don't stay hungry. You don't miss anything because there's so much.
Well, you also have naan bread and rice and keeps you full.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of dal here.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Josephine, are you going to help set the table for dinner?
We don't really eat at table.
Oh. So great.
The whole entire, we moved in here just around 2 years ago, and like all of a sudden COVID hit and like any sort of construction just stopped. And now it's like trying to get product in, it's really hard.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Just like trying to get deliveries into the school. It's
Yeah,
hard.
we hear the same problems all over the place. So make do with what you have, and hopefully you're feeding a lot of great food to those kids and the faculty. And I miss everybody there, so please tell them I say hi, and yeah, stay in touch too.
Sylvia, Joan's retiring this year.
Is she really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Shocker, but not shocker, I think. So
yeah, no, she needs
it's bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yep. She needs to do her thing with her husband, travel the world.
Totally. Yeah. After COVID's over, travel the world.
Yep.
Do we have any questions from anyone, or any kind of comments or anything? Heather says, thank you. Can't wait to cook this. So for sure. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions? Don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah. And in the meantime, I just want to say thank you to everybody who is joining. And thank you to everyone involved in making this dish, you know, from our farm workers, food service workers. You know, like we said, there's a lot of challenges in our food supply chain right now. So everything from people who are picking our food to stocking the shelves, you know, it's a hard job. And I know there's a lot of struggles and challenges along the way. So, and last but not least, I just want to say a big thank you to Jim for joining us and sharing this dish with us today. And
my pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so great to see everybody on here. I miss you all, honestly. I wish I could give you just big hugs right now. Yes. Thank you, Nancy. Thanks
virtual
for joining.
Hugs.
Yeah, totally. Virtual hugs. And if you haven't already checked out our website, please jump on there and jump into our Facebook group. I'll throw those things into the chat. I think most people here have already seen it, but just for the sake of doing it, you can also drop your email into the chat box, and I'll be sure to take note of it to add you to our mailing list if you're not already on there. Yeah, and hopefully, Jim, whenever you do start doing those virtual cooking classes again, let me know. I'll spread the word too. And,
Absolutely.
You know, I'll be there watching and cooking along with you. So, yeah, stay tuned for another.
Let's hope there's no more quarantines.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, stay tuned for another live cooking class. Like I said, 2 weeks from today, same time. I'll just use the same link and make it easy, right? So whatever you want to, you know, learn how to cook. If you have any suggestions for cooking, if you are a chef on here, which some of you are, and you'd love to join us in the future as a guest chef, please let me know. And yeah, Jim, I don't know if you'll be able to join us 2 weeks from now, because I know Thursdays are kind of rough with like inventory and events and stuff. But if you are, please feel free to jump on again, and you can moderate the next time while I'm cooking, and we kind of turn the tables on each other. But yeah,
Sylvia, you got to do a little differently.
I know. Hey, but thank you all again for joining us. You're gonna mute me? Thanks, Jim.
No, that's when you mute me.
Yeah, but anyway, it's been so much fun, and it's been so great to see all of your faces here. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy your dinner, everyone.
Absolutely.
It'd be hard since you mentioned inventory. I kind of cringe. I can't enjoy the Makhani now.
Yeah.
Last night was inventory. What time did you get home?
Oh no.
He just rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because Josephine is with him now too. She commutes with him, so
she's helping you out. She's doing dry storage. She used to do what I do, right?
That's a smart move.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna finish.
All
this
right, everyone.
Good seeing you again, Jim. Sylvia, thank you.
Thank you. So great to see you all. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Josephine, you want to say goodbye?
Everyone's signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.